Hello there, and welcome to Holy Moonlight Crusaders. I am J. Dylan Proctor, the Nazarene Preacher Man, and in the chat with me is Tylor, Tradesman Tylor. Let me open up this by, I want to make an apology to Tradesman Tylor. Yesterday when we were doing the live stream in Bioshock 2, we calculated the price of the rose that a kid buys for a girl that he likes here in Dionysus Park, and my brain was not working right. I was either being really rude or really dumb with Tyler. He was telling us that we needed to multiply by 20 or 40 rather than 20. And then he said the price of the rose was $17 and I heard 16. Wrapping all that up, Tyler, I did not mean to be rude or dumb. You were correct with the $17, and you were also correct about multiplying the price of the buckshot by 40, which means the price of the rose through this crazy concoction in Rapture would have cost $34. So does that all sound right? Well, hey, you were the one doing the math on that, so. Well, also because that's kind of an interesting little thing there. The fact that the rose cost $34 in Rapture. So. Yeah. Yeah. That does sound like a good looking car. Cool. I'll check it out. And nothing is freezing or messing up right now. Yes, Derek Superleg should be in the chat as well. And anybody that's watching this, if they want to get in on the chat, I've got the YouTube up where we can see it. Got everything right in front of me. It's kind of fun. This should be hacked right up here. So evidently this part of Rapture was flooded. That wouldn't explain all the coral and barnacles and stuff. So y'all ready to talk some of the worldview of Dionysus Park? Okay, yeah, because that kind of ties in. The opening dialogue, if we can pull it up, involved cult. I thought there would be a... Yep, here it is. We're pulling it up now. Alrighty. So, evidently, the sort of mini religion they've developed down in Rapture, which uses some elements of Christianity, but it's obviously not Christian. It's much more socialist than it is, Christian. A lot of its language, collectivism, our power together, getting all equal down to a place where we can't be reduced anymore, so kind of reduced to the lowest common denominator. Everybody's equal when they're at the bottom, which is ultimately where socialism always goes. What we find here is this is talking about cult related. And Tyler, would you mind resetting the question we talked before we were live about cults and where you even got to that point? If we can pause for a second, can you explain what Waco is in case anybody is not familiar with it? What the whole situation was and when it was? So basically, so basically, if and tell me if I'm sounding like I'm getting all the what you know of it right. There was in Waco, Texas, a group of people who had come together in sort of their collective society, um, willingly, yeah. Though with cults, they don't let you willingly leave, um, and they were kind of in their own little society. Some religious elements, some other elements, and the federal government, the ATF, the Alcohol and Tobacco Firearms Bureau, so one of the alphabet letter, kind of like the FBI or something like that, they came down and were really putting the heat on these people, surrounded them, kind of trapped them in there, and then ended up killing them all. That sound like that kind of gets the gist of it? Well, how did that? Will you share how they all died? Yeah. Yep. For those who may be here, we figured out how much this little boy paid for the rose. You don't want that kid. That gift was over here. All right, so the kid says 108 ho. His gift is right here, the rose. As Tyler just said, $30 to $40 for the rose in Rapture. Yep. What what did we upgrade last night? Shotgun it is. We should have guessed that Poole is a journalist from his little snitch, I'm better than everybody attitude. So, to the question of cults, Well, I don't know if I have a definition for it. I know we kind of live in the age where stuff only is what I define it to be. Um, your truth versus my truth. Well, a couple of things about cults. If you're in a cult, you probably don't know you're in a cult. And once you figure out you're in a cult, you're probably not allowed to leave. And cults oftentimes make you pay the tax of lowering your IQ, and you're not allowed to think for yourself. You're not allowed to have differing opinions. Everything has to be lockstep together. Everybody does everything together. It's kind of like with a lot of political ideologies. If you are willing to be accepted on one terms of it, say it's pandering to your group of people, well then suddenly you got to have the whole package too. Um, it's sort of like Joe Biden saying, if you're questioning whether or not to vote for me, you're not black. Um, this whole expectation that you've got to buy into the whole package. That's how cults are. It. I think he is what he is. I mean, he's been talking like that for as long as I can remember being sentient. So, I guess I can give a more direct answer than that. I think he's somewhere between being brutally honest and not even knowing what he's doing. Well, getting back to what we were talking about, can we get back to the cult conversation? So, gosh, there's so much. Our whole goal when doing this live was we would let the dialogue and the gameplay so we could dissect it, but there's like so much of it. We can't talk or play the game because of the dialogue. We may have to break our one and only rule. Um, well, to the cults, that sounds like something a journalist would say. That's just religions you disagree with. This whole idea that, or that you're afraid of, or something like that, that the only reason why you would brand something or discuss something with anything other than positive, affirmative words would be because you're afraid of it or you hate it or something like that, which is not true. Um, Something's not just a cult because you disagree of it. Sometimes things are cults because of the merits of what's going on. This whole idea that everything's just a social construct and there's no one thing one way or another, it's just all a matter of opinions, just I, I kind of reject that full notion, which I think you would too, Tyler. um, Not to put words in your mouth, but yeah, yeah. I mean that whole statement reeks of spirit of the age. and I'm bad at this. Bad, bad, bad. Well, I mean, it's possible for them to be not bothering, quote, anybody and cut off the world and still be doing evil stuff. Like, they can be, abusing people inside there. So, but to your point, there's there's probably not a real reason for the ATF to be there. Is basically what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right there. That's a legitimate criticism there. Um. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, if you're legitimately not hurt, if you're really not just like narratively not, but you're actually not. Yeah. Well, well, I'll tell you this. So even if to your point, say it is something that's got a problem that needs to be sorted out, we need other ways than government to sort that out. Dang. That was going well. But this does seem to be working now. I guess it was. What would you like of this list to upgrade, Tyler? Let's go with the drill. No, I cannot hear Derek at all. Oh, I apologize for that. I can't hear him at all. I have. Mm-mm. Dang it. Binding out, moving it on. Suddenly, I remember why I like telekinesis. Hmm. Hmm. Bad rashes. One, journalists don't have integrity in the way that they should. Do what? Yeah, I was talking about Stanley. Sorry. Derek, can you go back into your settings and see that your mic actually is all the way up? Is he doing the Basilic simulator? If the Basilic simulator was real, how much would you be willing to pay for it? None? And we're talking like a Dark Souls Basilic. So you would actually be in Dark Souls playing as a Basilic, as an enemy. My life expectancy isn't very good in Dark Souls. I would be willing to pay probably up to $20 for it if it were like a Dark Souls spinoff. But you had to play as a Basilic the whole time? I don't know. I guess you're right. But don't you want to have big fake eyeballs on top of your head and then have mysterious little eyeballs that people don't even know are there? Yeah, don't even need them big fake eyes. Isn't that called invasion? You know, I'm just gonna let that take its course. Look at this, Tyler. Somebody's willed. I think a Houdini slicer just rolled past us. A Cuban sandwich? I don't know that I have. El amo bendito. Burk souls, Burk souls, Burk souls. Man, look at how his leg's swollen up over here. Poor guy's gonna have to go to dialysis. That's the true name of it, Dialysis Park. We got her. Well, see, so we didn't get to a big conversation about Rapture tonight, but we did figure out what was causing the capture card to freeze. Temperatures getting hot on top of the Wi-Fi router. That makes sense. It's getting smoked. It was being smoked like a smooth one. Tyler, do you want to tell the world where the capture card came from? China. Do y'all like those memes where it says, somebody says like, how is your crap box so fast if you only work for Domino's? And it's got Trump, and its caption, it says, "That sounds like a good question for China." um, yeah, China's funny. Oh, I also know what was causing the game to reset before I was saving it. So whenever you reset the capture card and you have to go into the PlayStation and turn the whatever does the like licensing HCMP whatever it is the setting there, whenever you reset that, it closes the apps. So whenever I get this capture card working, because for some reason you have to the capture card is from China. So it's a cheap one. You have to reset all the settings on everything for it to work. Whenever I do that, it resets the game. So, yep. Yeah, it's pretty good. Well, we hope that somebody enjoyed something of this, even though it was a short live stream. I'm going to go ahead and end this stream, so goodbye to the internet.